Taurus, this is your week ahead tarot card reading by Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It's a message for Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. So if you're not a Taurus birthday, but you are finding this video in your feed, it's your message. It's for you. There's something here that you need to hear. And it comes to you at just the right time. And this is where your message begins. I did not expect this card. Good. Dream the world into being. Lizard teaches us to move forward. It teaches us to look forward. And it says we're at the beginning of something new, as in lizards shed their skin and they're constantly evolving. So you are right now at a time of skin shedding. You are making space. Why do they shed their skin? Because they're growing. And their skin, the old skin has to come off. They're kind of bursting out of it, kind of like little hermit crabs to have to change shells or molt. They're molting. So you're molting. What does that mean? It could be kind of a little funky period for you right now, but it's because you are growing, and it is a sign of growth, and it is a sign of advancement, and it's a sign of not being the person that you were last week or the week before. There are changes that are coming, which we're going to get into, but you are future focused. What I like about this card is that you see in the background, there's that looming shape of the skull. It's implied. The past is gone, but it does inform where you're going. So it's not necessarily that you're living in the past or attached to the past, but it's almost like you don't want to look back because you know that it has to be over. And forward is the only way to go. But this is playful energy. It's not like heavy. It's an energy of, I'm really excited by where I'm headed. I'm really excited by where I'm going. And let's find out where that is. Taurus. Remember, as I divide this deck, that there are going to be cards that fall out. Good. Let them. It's part of the reading. We're going to let them stay there. If you are looking for a personal reading, I do provide those. Please check out my website, www.bornwithoutboundariestarot.com. And you can book and schedule with me there, only there. That's the only place you can book readings with me. And you'll have your message within 24 hours because I know how much you guys need them. There aren't many time slots available, so be sure you grab them. If you're just finding this channel, welcome. My name is Michelle. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. Taurus, okay? If you have not yet done so, please subscribe to the channel to encourage growth over here. And then click all notifications. If you love participating in things like free public tarot card readings, because this is the only place that I do free public tarot card readings. So I hope you can join in. If you're sensitive to sound, please just turn down your volume just a little bit as I use sound cleansing to cleanse the energy in the room, my room, and yours. this and that are true. Lots of ambiguity in the past. You know what's really interesting, Taurus, and I'm glad you brought this up? Sometimes we don't walk away from a situation because it's bad. Sometimes we don't walk away from a situation because it's toxic or traumatic. Sometimes we walk away from a situation just because it wasn't for us, and it wasn't all that we're looking for, and it wasn't, this is what the word we use in the corporate world, scalable. In other words, it wasn't going to grow with us. And you are shedding skin, which means you are advancing and you are growing. And if you saw my Taurus reading about a month ago, and I'll try to find it to attach it above here so you can watch it. Over the next year, you guys are in a tremendous state of advancement and growth. And you are not even going to be able to imagine how amazing your life is going to be on the other side of that. But it's going to be absolutely amazing. By 2026, Uranus actually moves out of Taurus. So all the changing and the shifting and the reconstruction in Taurus, it's done then. And you'll get a little bit more peace. And things will start to settle and be clear and be understood, because really Uranus is exploratory. You know, the great findings of Uranus. But then you'll be able to have them in your hand and do something with them. And that's the energy that you feel comfortable with. So that's by 2026. So there's so much shifting going on over the next year, year and a half. There's just going to be so much. But you are growing. And that skin is shedding because you have to make room for your growth. What doesn't grow with you, therefore, has to be let go. It has to be released. It has to be left behind. So, this and that are true means that for me in this reading right now, there was something that you were dealing with that helped you see different sides of things, helped you understand the world in a way that maybe you hadn't before. It broadened and expanded your growth, right? Your mind. And so you grew. But the first thing, usually this isn't a bad message, but the first thing, and it's not a bad message. The first thing I saw though was, oh, this isn't, this not knowing, this lack of discernment, this sort of exploratory phase, it can't last forever. And Taurus doesn't want it to. So it's like you're shedding the skin from this recent phase in your life where there was ambiguity. Whereas, oh yeah, both things could be happening at the same time. That's great. But now it's like you want to move on from that. And maybe if it involves a person in your life, maybe if it's very personal, especially, you're feeling bad about it, right? You still have one eye like, I don't know, am I ready? If your skin is shedding, you are ready. And this card confirms it. Freedom is yours. This is Aquarian energy. It's about truth. And it is about freedom. And it is about that true Uranus energy of I don't want to be pegged down, right? And maybe you're still carrying that energy of don't define me. And maybe that's the skin you shed. Maybe you shed the skin of being defined or who you were before. This is a growing phase for you. That's what I'm sure of. This is a growing stage. And the freedom it gives you, really what's happening is the freedom to explore aspects of yourself that are going to make yourself bigger, more mature, and better than you started out. So there is, maybe that's what you're doing, exploration. There is always enough. This is coming out to say, first of all, there's always enough money, because fish could represent money. Think loaves and fishes, think abundance that keeps propagating itself. Also emotion, because it's Piscean energy. But there's always enough space, and there's always enough room, and there's always enough creativity to grow into. There is no limits. So I'm kind of changing my perspective now as the cards flip over. There's always enough up ahead. There's always enough, okay? And then we have lay a solid foundation. Interesting that we have all these transitional, nebulous kind of energies, but by the end of the week, or where we're headed, is Virgo energy, which is getting things done, putting things into practical action, laying a solid foundation for where you're headed, which is why we're seeing it come out in the future. This is also the energy of 6. So 6 is the energy of Venus. So there is Venus is what the planet you're ruled by. So this is heading toward prosperity, heading toward scalability, heading toward a structure that can grow. So right now it's almost like we're think tank. There's conceptuality here, but ultimately it is going to a place that is solid and that has bones about it. Let's get into the deeper message. What is all this about? What are we talking about? So something that you're working on now or something that you're doing now is actually becoming something solid. If that's good news, I hope so. Check this out. We have Atlantis, which is genius, which is brilliance, which is conceptual, which is the impossible becoming possible. And then we have Capricorn. I feel like it just felt like I made somebody very happy when I said that. Because what this is something that doesn't make sense, making its way into reality. To the happy skeptics that did nothing but doubt it. But that's what's happening. And then we have Capricornian energy, which also suggests to-do list. You have work to do. It's almost like you're dealing with a situation you thought was impossible, you thought was going to remain in sort of limbo. But now now is the week where you have this aha breakthrough. This is how I get it done. So this is a really beautiful week for you because like I said, you are leaving ambiguity behind. You're not leaving opportunity behind. You're leaning into opportunity and you are headed toward growth and development. But you now understand, there's the happy news is the ambiguity and all the questions are fading this week. And they're switching over to a solid understanding of what needs to come next. And I think that's very good news for you. I think that's very good news for you especially because you need that. You want that. And it actually solves a huge problem for you, which direction am I going to take this? Can I do this? And do I have the capacity? Like, how long can I keep these balls in the air before I know where to put them, right? This is the week where you're going to know where to put everything and you're going to get the answers that you need, or you're coming up with the answers and solutions. Let's get into no place like home. You got real comfortable in this state of ambiguity. And there was a safe space here, but it had to change, or you had to change. It's almost like you came from a place of stability, and that's great, but then you had to go, like that hermit crab shedding or molting its shell. You had to leave because you couldn't grow anymore in that space. But it's never like you didn't want another home. You didn't want to be in flux forever. Well, your home, you're starting to lay a solid foundation. You're going to find your home. You're going to find your new home that you can build. And it's going to have the malleability and flexibility to accommodate growth, right? It's like going from something that was too small for you to something that may still be small, but it's on a much bigger plot of land. So in the future, when you're ready to build out, you can. Whereas this was maybe an apartment or a condo. It was locked in. It was safe. It was, follow the metaphor, unless you're home buying, and this is then it's very blunt for you. There's like you were stuck because there was no expansion. It was home, you loved it, but there was no room for actually growing out or growing up. Whatever stage of your life, whatever age you are. And then, so what you do is something actually very smart. You give yourself room to grow some more. And the next place you choose to settle is a place that has growing room. It may not be square footage. It may not be any bigger. It might be smaller than this, but the space around it allows you room to grow, develop, and change, but in the same place. So you can really have that foundational place for yourself again. We have observer. So you've been thinking about this. You already got your eye on something is what it tells me. You already got your eye on something. You're already looking, but you are smart. Now you know what to look for. Now you have the answers and solutions of what to look for and what's going to work for you into the future, not just for right now. You are future focused, and you should be, or you're finding this video just at the right time to remind you to stay. Happy birthday, Doug Denny. Future focused. Foundations and achievements. What does that mean? I just talked about the home. This is almost like the 10 of Cups. So happy, so abundant, and settling down or settling in to this new circumstance that is actually going to be a place that you're going to want to stay and be able to stay for a while. I feel like there's just been a lot of change in your life, maybe over the past few years, where it's been from one thing to another, everything shifting, not always feeling in control of the situation. And that's good because that helped you develop different aspects of yourself as well. Now, what God is saying is you are discovering something that you will be able, a place where you'll be able to stay, and people that will want to grow with you and establish with you, and the right combination of scalability, which is future growth from where you're starting. So let's see what this card is. Rest and rejuvenate. You'll be able to relax. Partnership and alliances, you'll be able to relax because you know you're working with the right people or you found the right person. You can relax because somebody does want to build with you, because you found the right team, if this is work, because you found the right person to be with, if this is intimate partnerships. This is a sense of it all really coming together for you. Let's get an angel message before we go to the extended. That link is down below. Follow me over there. You can also find the link at the top of the comment section. I've even attached it to the video. Ooh. What did I say? A life-changing epiphany or experience. It's a time of big and blessed change for you, and God is supporting you each step of the way. Love life. New or renewed romantic love is here for you. And then last but not least, ceremonies and celebrations. It's a time of important life passages, such as weddings, birthdays, graduations, or anniversaries. So this is actually leading to something that is extraordinarily special that you will remember for the rest of your life. When you bought your first house, when you got engaged, a wedding, celebrating opening a business, like that's what's happening this week. Let's continue. I'll see you guys in the extended.